Well, good morning, folks. Um, so I got asked on St. Bernard Acres live stream to try and explain um, what an autistic meltdown looks like, feels like. Explain it a little bit, right? Um, I am on the spectrum, so I am autistic, but I'm a high functioning autistic. Uh, and most of the people that are high functioning autistic, they have certain traits. And one of those traits is, um, when they get triggered by something that seems insignificant to most people, to us, it is like the world is coming to an end. Okay? Um, Good example. I like doing the same thing every day, knowing exactly I'm going to come in at this time, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to deliver there. From there, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to deliver over there, I'm going to go pick up over there. That to me is routine. And it expresses itself in different ways for different people. One of the things you'll notice is they like the same parking spot all the time. They don't like to have to find another parking spot, right? And if they do, it can cause anxiety because in my brain, that's the spot I park. If I'm not parking there and somebody's in my spot, if I go to another spot, I'm taking somebody else's spot. So what do we do? I mean, what do I do? I can't take somebody else's spot, but I got to park. Okay, um, that little thing can have us all day thinking about, did I take such and such spot? Whose spot did I take? Oh, he's going to be so upset because I took his spot, right? Or she's going to be so upset because I took her spot. I mean, this is what goes through your brain all day, right? On top of your normal, okay, uh, day to day things. Now, another thing that'll trigger you is um, thinking about uh, interactions with people, right? I can normally interact with people pretty well, uh, but there comes a limit, right? Good example. The company I worked for before had a company picnic. Normally, I do not go to these type of functions, right? I don't go out. Okay, I don't go to restaurants. I don't do any of that, right? Because I the sensitivity to the noise, the sensitivity to uh, what do I do? Where's the escape routes? Where's the bathroom? Is the bathroom clean? Is the food going to be clean? Is the food prepared right? So I do not normally do a lot of going out, right? It's not that I don't like meeting people. I do like meeting people. I just don't know when I first meet them how to react at first, right? So I tend to watch them for a while before I interact, which can come off as being cold, blunt, uh, unreachable, right? Um, so yeah, this is my swimsuit hanging in the back, right? Um, so this is what happened to me a couple weeks ago. You see, gotta have my cigarette for this because it's kind of like my way of self calming, right? So I come in. It's Monday morning. I'm expecting. Normally on Monday morning, uh, I normally go to one customer, and from that customer, I go to another customer, and that's pretty much how my day works, right? So I come in, and all of a sudden, uh, my routine totally changes, right? So this is going to cause some anxiety because now my routine has changed. Um, so that's the first trigger. Normally, it takes me to blow up and have a full meltdown. I normally have to have trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger after trigger, or something so totally overwhelms my brain that I melt down because I'm at that point where I have no clue what to do, right? So I come in, I get told, oh, well, you're going all the way to the main terminal. Okay. Uh, and then you wait 45 minutes to give me the information. So for 45 minutes, I'm sitting there going, my clock is ticking. What am I, what's the holdup? Well, did you change your mind? What, you know, for 45 minutes. It's going through your brain. Circling, circling, circling. I go to the customer, I pick up, right? Customer takes a little bit longer than normal. Normally we're in there 30 minutes to an hour. This took about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours to get the load. Now I'm on a time constraint, right? I get all the way out to the main terminal. Trigger number 2. Drop the load, bring the paperwork in, get told, oh, you're switching out your truck into another truck. Okay? That's trigger number 2. Now you're going to take me out of something I'm comfortable with and put me into something I don't know that truck. I mean, that sounds stupid, but I don't know that truck. I don't know the history on that truck. I don't know what was it in the shop for last time. Uh, I don't know that truck, right? So that's the second trigger. Third trigger. Somebody didn't pre-trip that truck before they decided to give it to me. So another thing with me specifically, when I do my job, I do my job exactly the same way every time. That's not consciously done that way. I do it that way because of the fact that I tend to want to be perfect at what I'm doing. So, yeah, here's trigger number 3. Uh, Whoever had the truck didn't put antifreeze in it. They didn't put oil in it. Um, and I get in the truck, and it's a bigger truck than what I'm used to. And I'm like, oh, okay. I moved the truck. Now, since I moved the truck, hello, now I've got to sit for another 30 minutes because that's the DOT rule, right? Okay. I get over, instead of getting a load off the yard of the main terminal like I was expecting, I get told, no, you got to go to this customer and do a drop and hook over there. So now I've got the whole thing of where are the empty trailers at? I don't know, right? Because I don't come to that main terminal but maybe once a year. Um, I get an empty trailer. I got to sit there for 30 minutes. Then I go to the customer. Now I'm stuck in line for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. Should have just came over to the customer and took my 30-minute there, right? I go, I drop my trailer. Don't know this customer very well. I've only been there twice. So they have to explain to me where to go. And of course, with an autistic person, the instructions have to be precise. If you give me instructions, well, just go down that road. Well, which road? There's 3 roads here. Which road? I'm not trying to be argumentative with you. The instructions have to be precise, right? That's just how it is. Okay, it's just how my brain works. It has to be precise. I get the load. I climb in the back of the trailer. Oh, it's pretty windy out, right? So you got these trailers. They're 2 to 3 inches from each other. When you open the door will typically hit the trailer beside it because it's so close. And it was really windy out. So I almost got locked in the trailer because the trailer door closed on me, right? Luckily, I was able to get out, but that's anxiety number 5. That's trigger number 5. Now I'm locked in a situation I don't know, right? Do everything I'm supposed to do. Go scale the load. Trigger number 6. Load's overweight. Somebody didn't do their job right. Not a good day, right? Okay. It's overweight. But it's only overweight by about 500 pounds. I'll burn that off in fuel on the way back. I leave the customer. I get up on the interstate, just got up on the interstate. Now, I want you to realize that all the trucks have got GPS in it, so they can track you. You know, they can track you on your logbook, they track you on the GPS itself. You know. And I get a phone call. I just got on the interstate. You know, I'm 4 hours away from making it back to the terminal. You know by looking at my logbook that it's going to be awful close. Shush. And you're going to call me and tell me, oh, I see you're going to be late coming in tonight. Well, yeah. Why don't we shoot for 7 to 8? That's my normal time. That's my normal time coming in, and you're looking at my logbook. You should know I might not make it back, which is because I got to go around a major metropolitan area right at rush hour. Okay? So, at this point, I am in almost full-blown meltdown when you call me. Because all the other triggers, right? Now, honestly, if I hadn't got that phone call, I probably would have calmed down. But because of that phone call, now I've got to interact with you on the telephone. And I'm going to blow up. So I did. Well, lo and behold, I didn't make it back to the terminal. I had to take a 10-hour break in between going back. And the whole time I'm thinking, I've got to get this load there by 7 because I know it's probably got to go to the customer by 7:30. That's on my mind. I'm like, okay. It happens in trucking sometimes that you got to spend out overnight, right? Okay. I'm just gonna go to sleep. Well, I got to go into truck stop and buy a blanket and pillow because I'm a local driver. I don't carry that. Come back to the truck. I lay down. Hour and a half later, I wake up because I'm being eaten alive. Guess what's in the truck? Yeah, bed bugs. Bed bugs or fleas. I couldn't figure out which. Now I'm back up. Hour and a half later, I'm going back in the truck stop looking for flea spray, bed bug spray, spraying the whole truck down. Now it's a 3-hour fiasco of trying to air the truck out after I sprayed it all down. And I was already tired when I got there. Now I'm exhausted. Now I'm just wore out. Then, I sleep for about another 2 hours. And I'm like looking at the clock and I'm like, okay, maybe with no traffic in the middle of the night, maybe I can make it back to the terminal on time, early, right? And so I sent a message. I said, is there any way I can do what we call a split sleeper? And I get told, no, you're going to have to talk to such and such at 5:30 in the morning. Well, by then, I would have had a 10-hour break. So I literally sat in the driver's seat until my 10-hour break was up. And get back to the yard, take everything out of the truck. Because in my mind, this is a sleeper truck. I don't know if I'm supposed to be driving this all week or if somebody else is supposed to be taking this truck. I don't know. But I typically don't drive a sleeper truck. I typically drive a day cab. So, in my mind, I've been out all night. Everything in the truck has got to be washed. And it's probably somebody else's truck. Well, they took that as me resigning. So, for an autistic person, we tend to express ourselves differently. And so when we melt down, it's an emotional roller coaster. For me, it's an emotional roller coaster, okay? I'm overwhelmed, and I'm not mad at the people around me. I'm mad at myself for being overwhelmed. Now, let me explain that. Because in my mind, I should be perfect. right? It's that seeking for perfection every day in what you do. And so in my mind, by me becoming overwhelmed, uh, I'm losing it, right? I don't know how to react to the massive emotional aspect, because for me it's very emotional, um, and my response typically is I've got to get away. It's not anything against the people. It, People could be doing everything perfectly normal. It's my internal response, and I've got to go. That fight or flight syndrome. I'm not a fighter. I run, and so that is what I deal with on occasion. Is I deal with typically emotional baggage. The best way I can put it, emotional baggage, right? Because I'm always second guessing myself about how I'm doing something, or uh, has that been done correctly? Should I go and reread the book? Uh, that's a typical day for me, right? Um, and then the worst thing you can do is to tell me, okay, well, your routine is changing, but this is a treat. Oh God, it's not a treat for me. That's not a treat for me. Or tell me, well, go to this customer. Well, how do I get there? Well, just GPS it. No, I need directions. This open ended type of communication, little things like that, it takes a long time for me to have a meltdown. Okay? It takes a long time. And it will build up and build up and build up. Okay? Um, and then when it builds up to a certain point, I'm going to explode. And please don't be downrange. Because if you're downrange, you're going to get it. Now, not physically, but verbally. Um, and it's going to look like I'm fucking crazy. That's what it's going to look like. And one of the little triggers, like yesterday, I'm at a new company. Yesterday, I come back to the yard, and I go to get in my pickup, and I can't get in my pickup because somebody parked a bobtail so darn close, I can't hardly open the door, which my little key fob doesn't work. I don't know why. I've tried everything. I've gone through the book. That still doesn't work. I've tried, I've changed the battery. I've done everything I can think of to do, but it doesn't work. So I've got to use the key to get into the truck. And once you open the door, you have to start the truck immediately or the alarm will start going off, right? So I've got maybe 4 inches to open the door to try and get in to pick up. And as I'm looking at the side of the pickup, somebody hit the side of my pickup. Okay, yes, it's a scratch. It's a big scratch, but it's a scratch. For normal people, I've already talked to my friend. For normal people, it's like, okay, well, whatever. For an autistic person, oh, here we go again. It's the end of the world, right? Now I'm stuck there. I can't get a hold of anybody on the phone. Uh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm supposed to call the sheriff. I don't know if I'm supposed to take pictures. I I don't know who did it. Uh, and I'm standing in a parking lot, and everybody's already left. So now I'm going through this cycle of what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I do that? Uh, I don't know what to do, right? Because it's never happened before. So I, I don't know what to do. So for a normal person, I just get with them on Monday. For me, it's 2 hours of standing around melting down because I do not know what to do. And I can't get anybody on the phone. And to most people, oh, it's just a scratch. To me, somebody damaged my property. My property wasn't damaged when I parked it. Why is it damaged now? Who damaged my property? Did they do it on purpose? See? So this is a little bit of what I deal with on a day to day. I like routine. I like getting up 4:30 in the morning. I like having my coffee. I like letting the dog out. I like going checking on my chickens, getting dressed for work, fixing my lunch. Right? You see how I'm going through this? Boom, 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 boom. This is how my day goes. Okay? Uh, Suddenly changing my routine, that doesn't work well with me. Suddenly putting me in a situation like the company picnic. I went to the company picnic. Uh, I kind of sat around for about 2.5 hours. The main reason I was going to the company picnic was they had a bingo, and my mom, God rest her soul, uh, and her, me and my mom, we used to go to the bingo hall, with just about, only about 10, 12 people would go to the bingo hall every Saturday night. And for me, it was like reconnecting with that, right? And I was hoping to meet a couple people, maybe make a couple friends, but nobody really knew me. It was really all families. And after about 3 hours, I tried to go take a walk, have my music blaring because it's normally how I stem, right? Uh, and that didn't work. And so I went off. And God bless the lady that was there. She's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "Nothing, nothing." Right? Because you can't really explain to people what's going on in your brain when you're in a full meltdown. You've just got to get away and get alone, right? Or go do something that's going to occupy your brain and pull you out of that meltdown. So, yeah, too many people, too much noise, unfamiliar situation, yeah, not a good thing, which is why I don't go out. So I hope this helps some people uh, who might have people working under them that are autistic. Number one, routine. Number two, very clear instructions of what is expected of you, not 50 million lines of code. Okay? Very clear expectations. Number three, sometimes you got to leave them alone. Give them a few minutes to regroup. Okay? Yeah. And number four, expect every once in a while that they're going to look like they're crazy. Okay? And when that situation happens, just give them space. Because if you give them space and a little bit of time, they'll calm down. Uh, I'm not stupid. That's the other thing. I'm not stupid. I'm very high IQ. So I have interesting little facts floating around in my brain that other people do not find interesting. I find it fascinating. But other people don't see that as interesting. They actually see it as you're a know it all. I've been called that many times. So you learn to stay quiet, not give out all the information that you know, right? Because when I'm learning something new, I just don't, okay, here's a good example. Canning. I just didn't go out and buy a canner and then make mistakes. Making a mistake is a failure. Making a failure is impossible. Don't make failures, right? Um, so before I bought a canner, I probably have 20 books on canning, and I've read every one of them. Uh, so that's what sets an autistic person apart from a neurotypical. Neurotypical, okay, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, right? Uh, Autistic people do not like mistakes because they see that as a personal failure, even if it's out of their control. So I hope this helps somebody. It's just what I deal with. And, as I've gotten older, I've learned to uh, not have meltdowns that often, but I still do have them. Okay. And I've slowly have come to grips with I see things differently. I understand things differently. I see the minutia in things that people do not. Okay? And I'm not trying to outdo you. I'm trying to share what I've read and what I know. Uh, I'm not trying to look like a know it all because I'll be the first one to say I don't know it all. But anything that I've studied, I'm going to try and share that with you. Okay? Now, one of the failures of this is that when you get with friends and they start talking about a subject, and you find out that, oh, this friend likes, let's say, gardening. Well, now, because they are your friend, to help them, you're going to go and you're going to read every gardening book you can read, because now you want to know what they're talking about, and you want to be able to help them, right? And it comes off as being a know-it-all. So, hope this helps y'all. I've got to go. Bicycle.